You ever seen those gangster films where there's a dead body in the boot? This is similar, but it's not a body, it's a dead machine. It is the Parkside 4-in-1 Petrol multi-tool PBK 4B3. Bought it the other day, and I used it for one day of moderately heavy commercial work. I used the strimmer and I used the bush cutter, which is somewhere in there. There it is, bush cutter with the extension pole. Yeah, it was 140 quid. So with all the tools you get with it, you get the chainsaw, the bush cutter, the strimmer, all that stuff, significantly cheaper than you know, like a Steel or a Husqvarna, that you're looking over £1,000 for this same kit. So it kind of seemed too good to be true, and in my case it was. I turned up at the job in some woodlands with a couple of other guys that have both got Steel multi-tools. Their Steels are well over 10 years old and have had a rough life. They're still going strong, and they kind of looked at me with a sort of a curiosity. Anyway, I got through the whole day, as I say, doing some heavy work, and I was feeling quite smug, and I was literally at the end of the piece of work I was doing, and the engine started to backfire, and the RPM started to drop, and I felt, oh dear, it's starting to seize up. So I took my finger off the trigger to see if it would idle, and the revs just it just cut out, and it would not start again. There was a bit of smoke coming off. I don't know what was, it was overheated. There was smoke coming off of it. I don't know if it was a bit of plastic burning or something else, but yeah, the motor's kaput. That's it really. I'm sure if you're just using it for the odd bit of garden work, it'll probably be okay. There's a few other positive reviews about it on YouTube, but in my case I did about 2.5 litres of fuel, which gives you some idea of how much work I did with it. Probably about 4 hours sort of run time in total, I would say. I was running it on a 40:1 mix, so that should have been absolutely fine. The other thing to note as well is the strimmer head. It works well, but the actual way it clips in was a bit precarious. A few other people have mentioned that, and I found that as well, although it did get through a whole line of string wire without falling apart, so that was all right. One of the nuts came off of the bush cutter. Again, only a day's use. It does say in the manual to check everything's tight, but after 1 day's use you kind of feel like, you know. And also the wing nut on the end of the main tool itself, despite me doing it up nice and tight, the wing nut unwound itself and fell out in the wood somewhere. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if you're going to be using it for anything other than the occasional light work in your back garden, which I'm sure it'd be fine for that. But if you're going to do a proper day's work with it, you'll be taking it back to the shop, which is exactly where I'm going right now.